What's up? What's up? We're back at it again. It's your boy Puni Moa and Queen. What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, yeah, you here. We're back here, y'all. This is our 10th episode, y'all. And we are excited, y'all. We are going to talk about a little bit about our own selves, you know what I'm saying? Be transparent, share a little bit about what we've been up to. And then our, as you know, happy hour. We're probably only going to cover 2 segments of that one. Which one we talked about on happy hours, Queen?
We're going to talk about whether you prefer to live by the ocean or in the mountains. And then we're going to move on to how do you deal with overzealous supervisors and slackers.
Slackers. There you go, y'all. Stay tuned, man. You know what I mean? So whether you're driving to work or working out at the gym or simply in a good mood to laugh, tune in here at WEFOBZ. Don't miss out on the fun, man. Subscribe now and join our community of listeners who just knows that laughter is truly the best medicine.
Welcome to the WEFOBZ podcast, a unique blend of comedy and fiction, dive right into controversial topics. We believe that during these difficult subjects, it's important to find humor in them. We tackle these topics with our signature wit and humor, inspired by the fearless and bold Samoan humor that dares to explore the darker side of life.
A celebration.
Hey!
For real, man. So, Queen, you've been busy, man. Missed you last week. You know how to go around scavenge the world to try to find me a replacement to replace you. And, I did get a hold of J-Bid. J-Bid was busy. Chief Flot was busy. But thank God for my man. God, so smooth pulling it through,
Move with it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we had a good one, man. It was good. But anyways, man, we're gonna get right to it with us. It's our 10th episode. So, Queen, man, how did your weekend go? You've been so busy, y'all.
Extremely busy, and our journey being that this is the 10th episode, just gotta make it happen, with everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
When life throws you lemons, you make lemonade and keep on going. With this episode, leading up to this episode, we had to carve out time. I know you had to do some carving out time to ensure that we get the consistency of this. And I've been traveling too. I was at a family funeral last weekend, and then as soon as after that, had to hop on a plane, head out to another state for graduation, spend family time. Because, family time is very important. Tomorrow's never promised. And it's important to take care of yourself and your family. But this podcast too, I also make it my priority because I know where it's going to lead. I can see what's going to happen in the future for you and I, Puni Moa, with this WEFOBZ podcast. And life is always life. And yeah, so I've been busy with that, busy with work. Just dealing with a whole bunch of stuff at work too, different situations. But it's all manageable. Just got to take one situation at a time, just like at home. What about you, Puni Moa? How was your weekend and your week leading up to this weekend? I know y'all missed me, but I'm back. Make sure I was here for this 10th episode for WEFOBZ.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. It was a pretty sad weekend. Going towards the end of the week for myself and my family because we had to put down our family dog, one of our family dogs. R.I.P. to my dog Pango. It's a Rottweiler, and us being Samoans, we're not really in Samoa, especially for my families. We're not attached to animals. You know what I'm saying? But this one's different. This one hit a little different for me because one, I don't even give a damn about the damn dog. It's really my wife and kids, and just to see them being sad that we had to put down Pongo, the tears in their eyes and everything like that made me feel sad for my kids and my wife, but then realize them, that animals too plays a sentiment feeling in the family, I guess, if that makes any sense. Because I don't see myself as an animal lover. But man, I tell you what though, his presence was noticed not being around, you know.
Yeah.
So that's besides that part, and then gotta keep trucking through with life, with full time work and our kids, and got a son in college. Just trying to maneuver all that around. Just that's a lot of work. But like you said, our podcast, it's definitely not easy, right? You think would you say it ain't it ain't easy trying to stay on top of it, huh? It's like,
No,
ooh,
no, it's not. It's not. It's like another job, but it's on the side. But it's something
mhm.
I enjoy, and I know you enjoy too.
Oh yeah.
Doing this podcast is like an escape. As you can see, I have the ocean and the tree right behind me. That's why I choose that for today. It's just, this being here on the podcast just take you away for a little bit. Just why our whole Wild Ooze, we have those segments that we do. Get away from life for a little bit and then back into reality. But um, yes, podcast. It's amazing.
It is, right? And I'm just like, you know what else is a struggle to the listeners? Our podcast is based off of comedy, right? And the reason why it's under comedy is just to also avoid the complaint of what comes out of our mouth when we're talking about a topic, or just bringing up our own, suggestion or how we feel about things.
Yes.
But man, I gotta tell you, Queen, it's kind of hard to even just have a straight face and have a positive attitude all the time. That's tough, yo. it's,
It is tough.
it, it
It
ain't
is
easy.
tough. People walk around with smiles, but you don't know what's going on, and that's why I like to continue trying to put on the smile, even though you're hurting inside, but you know that there's things like me. I know you got this podcast, you got your family to come home to, and families you can talk to. But this podcast, man, like you said, it's all about our comedy. It's just to make other people laugh. Although we talk smack and all that, but it's hard to get the content and be careful what we say because it can offend people. But our goal here is just to make you laugh, teach you even a little bit of Samoa culture, you know, simple words as too low in our previous podcast. You learned a little bit things here and there, but that's our goal. We're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, because we know how that feels. So this podcast is it's a great thing. It's a great avenue to come home to and do what we got to do. And I get to spend more time with you, Puni Moa, on this. So that's like this is 10th episode, and basically I look at this that we just been on the phone forever.
Man, it does too. It avoids talking to people because I'm a talker. I love to talk. You know what I'm saying? But I find myself when I'm talking to people on the phone, it got shortened because the podcast is taking out all the vocabularies out of my mouth. Oh man.
Or you trying to save it for the podcast?
Yeah, pretty much, let it all out on the podcast and stuff. But that's what we've been up to, y'all. Me and Queen, we still got a regular life as we try to push this through. I'm just visualizing like once we hit episode 50 or even 100, even if we're able to get to that. It's a challenge,
Yeah,
but can't wait to see that happen. That'll be cool.
that'll be lots of fun. Just to even get to 20, 30, then we hit that 50. Like you said, God willing, we get there. Um, it's going to be a great accomplishment. Every episode is a great accomplishment because we're able to actually get away from our full-time daily activities such as job and being with family and then come here and just carve out some time and take care of business. And I love doing this because it's a lot of fun. People always ask, how do you have time? Folks are start to learn little by little that I heard you have a podcast on the side with your cousin. Like, where'd you hear that? But anyways, it's a good thing and it's a great thing. So it's a positive thing too.
Not trying to be a pressing person. I can say that I understand like how I see actors, that are like comedians, even radio hosts when they talk about like man, sometimes I just want to let people know, like, hey, I'm a regular person too. That's all part of acting, and they get stuck when people just think that, oh, you're just a funny person and that's all there is to it. They start not taking you serious.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like, wow. I think the great thing about podcasting, it separates that because listeners get to realize, oh man, they're just entertaining, trying to have a positive vibe, promote positivity, and that's all there is to it. Other than that, we're regular folks. You know what I'm saying? That has feelings, and we have responsibilities, and that we care, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. And when people look at those stand-up comedians, that's all they see. They see, oh, those guys, their job is to make you laugh, and they just carry it on thinking that that's them on the outside too when they're going shopping with their family and all that. But like you said, we're all humans. Regular folks just try to live their life, going through stuff. And our podcast it's a wonderful thing. That's all I could say because
Thing that I realized, right, coming into the podcast, because this is our 10th episode. One thing, I guess that will be our segment for our listeners today, will be what have we learned from this? What have we got out of it? And now what can we start doing moving forward? So for me, it's like I came into the podcast thinking that I could just speak my mind, right? And be like, hell yeah, now I get to say whatever I want to say. But then it's a lot different once you have your actual face recorded and you start realizing, like, wait a minute, this is going out to the millions and millions of viewers, right? And people get to comment, and you can't take it back. All those reality start, man. I'm telling you, Queen, it starts to worry me, right?
yeah.
But as we get, as our episode comes, I get more comfortable and start to understand the legal side of things of it. Like, oh, okay, like what we could say, what we can't say. And I
Mhm.
guess when it comes to like having a regulation and rules or laws or being aware of what to say and not to say, I think that's a good thing to do, to have, right? Because everybody in the world, they all think differently. You can
Yeah,
say you can say something very positive, but then it's never going to be positive to everybody. The answer, whatever
right.
whatever you put out there, you know what I'm saying? Do you hear
Yeah,
that? Do you hear that background?
I hear that.
Damn it, shit. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I can't wait till we have a professional studio. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all gonna have to listen to it with us.
This is episode 10, baby. This is all about being
Authentic,
authentic,
raw
man.
materials.
Being transparent too, y'all. Shit. Gotta hear my family in the back. You know what I'm saying? They're having a party in the back there. This show has been brought to you by WEFOBZ.io and specifically the WEFOBZ Nation store. WEFOBZ Nation store is where you can find all types of merchandise that WEFOBZ Nation members are into. Their interests span from clothing wear to backpacks to kitchen utensils and even anime collectibles. Everything you will find at WEFOBZ.io. This show has been brought to you by WeFobs.io and specifically our WeFobs Nation store's bestseller section. Look in the bestseller section to find Amazon items that WeFobs Nation members usually purchase or are interested in purchasing. We are an Amazon affiliate, so you'll definitely be helping us out by clicking on those links and buying your items from our WeFobs Nation store. Bestseller section. WeFobs, bringing it to you. You know what, Queen? Let's dig right into it. I'm feeling good right now. Happy hour, baby. Happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour. Happy hour.
Do you prefer living in the mountains or living near the ocean?
Well, for me, I prefer the mountains because how I look at it. I'm scared of tsunamis. I'm
Mhm.
scared of, how in the islands they say that the water is starting to over what's the word? Where it's starting to sink, the islands start to sink. All that shenanigan. I'm afraid of that. That's why I prefer, for safety wise, to live up in the mountains. That's
Hmm.
my answer. Because of that, simply. It's all that damn Mother
Simply
Nature.
one answer. All right, simply one answer.
hmm
Because of the tsunami.
Well, now you're talking about the mountains too. That can get hectic too, right? Because it depends how high the mountain goes. And what if it's just the mountain of Everest or something? I wouldn't want to live on that kind of mountain with all that snow. The degree Celsius is so below zero and stuff like that. The altitude is so high where I can barely breathe. There you go. That's a scenario why I would choose. Then I'll choose the ocean, living closer to the ocean. So it really depends. You know what I'm saying? I always just like to attack these answers in all different kind of ways, hoping I can answer every motherfucker out there's answer.
Might have to deal with wild animals like
Yeah.
bears wandering into your
Mm.
backyard, stealing your picnic baskets.
Dude, ooh, see, now that you brought that up too, now we're talking about animals. So if you're up in the mountains, you're right. You got freaking bears, wildcats, bobcats, man, more
Mhm.
mococolos. you got you got all of them out there. You're right about that. Sheesh. Then you got these like UFOs flying by. You see, because we see them on the news nowadays. Your house would be the first one spotted from
See,
all.
you're gonna start becoming so adventurous outdoors activities like hiking, camping, and skiing.
Mm,
You're gonna develop an unhealthy obsession with outdoor gear, then find yourself constantly browsing through REI catalogs. All of
they
a sudden, you're gonna be a professional at it.
Oh man, and those hiking gears and even like the weapons, the rifles and all that, those are expensive. The hiking gears, all
Hella.
that stuff. True. Well, even if you was to live close to the ocean, them surfboard gears, buy yourself a yacht, a boat. It doesn't matter, baby. They're both expensive, right? Sheesh.
Hecka expensive. Living by the ocean, it's a beautiful view. You know, you don't know who's gonna be your neighbors and so forth. Then you could start to get annoyed with the people who call it a beach vacation when you actually try
Mhm.
to explain to them that it's actually a coastal lifestyle. Tsunami would be one of my worries. That's the only worry I'm worried about if you have a beach house right by the waters. You can see the water start receding and then just come up and just swipe out the whole coastal part. Earthquakes, better make that run once you feel that earthquake. That's a lot of people surprisingly don't know what follows earthquakes. What follow earthquakes?
Uh,
Tsunami.
Tsunamis. Yeah, you're right. See,
Does and make sure those sirens. If you live on a beach or near an ocean, just make sure those sirens work because those sirens don't work. You're gonna be aware of what's coming through. Yeah, I would prefer to live in the mountains just like you, even though there's a lot of cons to it. But if something happened down at the ocean level, at least you're up there. You just got to worry about the wildlife.
which is tameable. The
And then the
wildlife.
golos. I'm gonna tie strings all over with the cans and put them all over the area. So if I don't care if it's an animal or not, you gonna hear more colos coming through too.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. It's either or the other. I guess the answer for me will be I will be living in the middle, in between the mountain and ocean. That's
Great
my
answer. That's a great answer. So you can pick and choose.
in between.
Well, how about this one, real quick?
Mhm.
How do you deal with an overzealous supervisor? Supervisor who's constantly on you, micromanaging, dictating things to you. How do you deal with those type of supervisors?
Well, the common thing is to avoid them, but you can only avoid them so much, so it's like when I do come up to them, I'll be I tend to like to
Kill them with
make up
kindness.
kill them with kindness, but they act like, oh yes, sir, I'm very busy right now. using the busy term that with especially it depends though, right? It really depends on when you're saying overzealous supervisor. Depend what
Mhm.
kind of job you're into. So a good thing Puni Moa has been to all kind of different jobs. What I'm saying, you can have a manager that micromanages in a warehouse where you're in the line and you're like building the product. It could be like a just any kind of product. You have your supervisor will be present at all time. Then you have these merchandising ones where you go to like any kind of beverage or beer company, just anything merchandising wise. Your supervisor is isolated. That not it's not there all the time. So just bringing those two up. When it comes to the one in the warehouse where I'm building stuff up, when the supervisor comes to my line, the way I deal with it is like what I said earlier. I like to make up stuff that, oh yes, man, the line is going very good right now, sir. I have to keep going. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now because I got to take care of this, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
avoidance to avoid and to lie that I'm always busy. You know, and then same thing when it comes to being at a merchandising job. The way he'll or she will contact me is by phone, and every time they answer, just shoot it straight to voicemail, and then that's all you do. Just shoot it straight to voicemail. Just avoid that. That's exactly what Puni Moore does. Now the question is, how do I deal with them if like I got no choice? Like I'm in trouble situation. They got to confront the situation that I messed up. Well, then you know what I'm saying? It depends again. In my early 20s, I'd have been like, hold on, man. Whoa, whoa. Bro, don't disrespect me, man. Who the hell you talking about? I'm here busting my ass talking shit. You know what I mean? Busting
Mhm.
my ass. You don't know nothing about what I'm talking about. You know what? Fuck this. I'm out of here. Then I walk off. I've done that. I've done that. I've honestly done that. I'm like, I don't need
Yeah.
this shit. I'll walk out. Supervisor comes after me. No, 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 man. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, bro. You just yada yada yada. And then getting the job. I don't know how I ended up getting the job back. Maybe because I was a good employer or what. You know? Yep, that's how I handle those. And that's on all situations. It's like, wait a minute, man. You ain't gotta talk to me like that. Who the fuck you talking to, dude? Like, first of all, check your tone. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown ass man. That's the same excuse I use all the time. Hold up, man. I'm a grown ass man you talking to. I don't need that shit. I don't need this shit, dude. You fuck you. Then I walk out. You know what I'm saying? And it always works. I don't know, but that's how I deal with them. Just keeping
Mhm.
it just keeping it real, yo. You know what I'm saying? And of course they need my ass because I'm the only one there.
They need you there for the moment, but once you're done
Yep.
with you, all
And
right, don't
then
bother coming
what?
back tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. And then once John comes and replace my ass, we don't need your service anymore, put anymore. Then I gotta go.
On that note, you're all replaceable. Bye, Puni Moa. But at least you were straightforward. You let your supervisor know how you felt. I mean, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
But then the next day you didn't have to return back to work, which I think it could be a good or a bad thing. So Joe's happy. You made other people happy by not being present at the current job. So you providing for other people's family.
the did I learn a lesson from all that? Yes, y'all. The lesson is sometimes you just gotta take it from these fucking overzealous supervisors because at the end of the day, you gotta realize what your goal is in the future, not at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that at that time.
Mhm.
Yep. Could I take it back? Of course, I would listen. I would literally will listen to the supervisor if that was the case.
Overzealous supervisors. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
People forget. And sometimes I like to tell them, you forgot where you came from real quick, huh? Making that little more extra $5 an hour. You think you all that and bag of chips.
Oh, you talking about those ones? The one that you should have said that first. Hey, what about your former employer who actually got a promotion, became your supervisor?
No, I'm just saying, there weren't former employees that you knew that they came up, from the same thing that you were doing. So it's like they're quick to forget how they were treated. Well, maybe they were treated bad too. That's why they act the way they do. But that's why people like us are there to tell them straight up.
For real,
You
man.
gotta be very strategic when you when you encounter and communicate with these overzealous supervisors.
Damn, that's what we call them, zealous supervisors. So,
Mhm.
man, it's crazy though, huh? Because I have experienced that too, where them supervisors, you're right that they came there, they used to do what you were doing, but now that they're the one in charge, all of a sudden they want to be this and that, act like and then why is it all the time that when they're at that position, the things that they plan, knowing damn well their ass can't even do it themselves, but then expect you to do it. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
it's the control. It's the ego
Mhm.
that just starts popping in. Like you said, don't ask me to do something if you know your ass can't even do it. Especially when you know they can't do it and you ask, "Can you show me how to do it?"
And they're so manipulated that they'll just like change the subject, or just
Mm.
bring somebody else up there, or find a fault that you done and just keep focus on that instead of the
And
main issue.
supervisors, don't be overzealous. Take care of your people. Man, these people will work hard and make you look good. Hello, make themselves look good, then make you look good. Then you don't even have to explain yourself to your boss. Everybody has a boss. Like, take care of the people because you once upon a time did that.
But we're living in a world that ain't gonna happen. I mean, I mean,
Maybe 1%, 0.5%.
yeah. Even you could call those overzealous. They're like the ones that are the lucky ones too. They just happen to be there at the right time, at the right moment to get the position, because it's always competitive, right? People
Mhm.
compete for this position. That person just happens to be there at the right time. Or happens you just have the right people backing them up too. So it's
Yep,
just,
a good team.
you know, I like to look at the positive side too, because I look at it this way. If I ever become a supervisor in this kind of situation, would I be overzealous? Maybe. Or maybe not, So sheesh, we'll see.
That all depends on your team.
Yep, it all depends. If I don't like you, something's gonna happen, right? Can we agree? But if I like you, you know,
No,
then
no, no, no.
is
You
that
don't
what?
say I like you as a person. Say, if I don't like what you're doing
Mhm.
work wise.
If it ain't benefiting me, right? Then
Oh my
you're a
goodness.
part of the team, right? Because I mean, let's think of. I mean, I think that's how at the end of the day is. If it's not helping, the cause of you, for you to move up more into a better, to line yourself up to a better position, then that team member of yours needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Right? What do you think?
And the weakest link.
The
There we go.
weakest link.
At the weakest link.
Yeah.
Okay, overzealous Puni Moa right there, but it depends on
Hmm.
willing to work.
Or not.
People start thinking, what the hell? What the hell y'all talking about?
They're talking about Joe out there.
Taking over people's jobs, and then Yoanga comes behind and take over Joe's job. I mean,
Man.
that's where that grab mentality start coming back in that we talked about earlier in our podcast, where people just be crawling and pulling people down. Who knows? Yo, I ain't gonna pull Joe down, step on him, do anything. That's why he's an overzealous supervisor to Joe. So that's why do what
And
you got to do, I guess, to survive.
Yeah, and then Puni Moa comes right behind and pull John down. You know what I'm saying? It's a never ending cycle, y'all. Right? Sheesh.
That's happening right now in places. So
Now, do you think that because they're being overzealous, that it makes the company, the business work? Because I feel like sometimes it does. Here's an example. Let's go about fast food. Do you have, Chick-fil-A, right?
yep.
So Chick-fil-A compared to like other fast food chicken places, they're rival. Popeyes, KFC, yada yada yada, churches, right? Chick-fil-A profits more than all the other ones. Why is that? Because Chick-fil-A can have 20, 30 cars going through the drive-through, and the time that they service those customers is all within less than 7 minutes. And that's pretty much allegedly maybe, but from my experience, from my own experience, seeing that, that's what happens. Like
Mhm.
I can drive on by. I'm like, I want to have some chicken. I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A. If I go to Chick-fil-A, there's like 30 cars deep. I'm still gonna go in line and I drive through because I know it's gonna move fast. But if I see that somewhere else, like Popeyes, yada yada yada, churches, KFC, the same kind of line, I'm moving on because as a customer, I know that that line is not gonna move. Now, my whole thinking is, man, those managers, because it is at the end of the day, when it comes to fast food restaurants, the managers that run the ship is what makes them, move, you know, because whoever they pick to hire, whoever they train, and when they're there right there, you see the difference.
Mhm.
Now, you can also tell that the managers are right. I don't know. I need to talk to those Chick-fil-A employees. Like, hey, how's your manager treating you? Maybe I should do that. Have a survey and stuff because I don't know what it is, but man, you can tell that it's run right. But my question is, are those managers overzealous, or are they just like good managers that people will want to work for? Now we're talking about fast food chain restaurants. So if one of them out of KFC, Church's Chicken, you get what I'm saying, are not servicing the same service, but they're all getting paid the same, or if that, I don't know. What do you think?
They're not overzealous managers. If you can look at what you hit it already. They
Hmm.
manage the floor real good, real well. Very knowledgeable of how things are going. They stick to whatever mission statement they have for their restaurant, fast food. And then and also the way you treat people, they're willing to work for you. So of course they're gonna be on top of it. And the training. If the staff members get training correctly from the managers, it is all good. And if they see the
Yeah.
managers working on the floor, then it's more likely that the staff member is going to be out there too. Because when they see their superiors working, helping them out, you got a team right there. That's
That could
bottom
be.
line. That
Could
could be. I mean, that's my thinking. But then sometimes it's not the managers. You can look at it this way. It's actually the workers who take pride in what they do. They don't care about the manager. The manager could be a piece of shit, but guess what? They're still going to outperform their supervisors, and that's by managing their floor, managing their people around them, because you don't need a title to be a leader. Your work will dictate how everything is. So I could be cooking the fries and stuff, but I'm also giving word of affirmation to my little neighbors, my burger flipper or my milkshake maker, just get pumping them up. You got a great team right there. You guys work together. It's all good. And the manager had nothing to do with it. So overzealous is not it wouldn't even be in this two scenarios we're talking about in the fast food chain.
mm,
Uh, the overzealous ones are the ones who constantly hound their staff, harassing them, and so forth. So that's my take on what you were just talking about.
yeah. Well, yeah, because I'm trying to get into the more point of like, could it be that being overzealous, is it effective? Is it effective for a business, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's my question. Because I feel like sometimes it is in somewhat
Mhm.
because the job gets done, right? And if you're not on top of these employers, people, we're just regular people. We tend to lack off, right? But when you have an overzealous production company that I work for, uh, this manager started a few months ago. Before him, man, my job was just relax, chill. It was gravy. It was good. But the product and the business was going down and drain because we didn't profit. Now, as soon as this manager stepped in, he's is what you call an aggressive driver. I mean,
Mm,
overzealous. He's overzealous,
overzealous, yeah. Showing a
and
lot of passion,
and
taking.
and
Mhm,
the production has turned around. We
mhm.
went from bottom to moving on up. Even myself is complaining about it, but I don't want to leave the job because I enjoy the job. You know what I'm saying?
So that's
There's
a good
benefits
example
in
of
it.
overzealous. At least
Yeah,
he's not going far beyond where,
it's not going far beyond. The
yeah.
overzealous of this overzealous person right here, supervisor. I hate those ones. The smart ones, the ones that stick by the book. The ones that are pretty much doing their job is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. The ones that are catching my ass not doing my job. That's what I'm opposite. I like to call it the ones that are doing their job overzealous because I ain't doing my job. You know what I'm saying?
They weeding you out, Puni Moa, weeding you out easily by those coming in doing their job. You're like, oh man, I gotta start doing this. What?
Yeah, yeah. Then
Never
try
have to
to
do this. But Puni Moa, this is your job description.
you talk about overtime, but you don't want to work overtime. Makes no sense anymore. Be like, man, shut your mouth, boy.
Say you need more money. There's a lot of overtime. You want to what? You want more money with less work?
Exactly, exactly. I'm bringing that out. To be honest to our viewers, that's not putting more. I'm just painting out. I'm honestly painting out scenarios because I know there's a lot of them like that. I work with a lot of them like that too. We call that in Samoa ole ayafu. You know what I'm saying? There was employees that shams a lot. Or what do you say it in English, Queen? How do you say them? The ones that just come to work, just make enough. They do enough just to get, just to stay
They're
employed.
not even doing enough. They're doing way. Well, yeah, I guess you can do. Those are a bunch of slackers.
Slackers, yeah. I hate those. That should be part of this topic because
Yes, slackers. You guys suck. You guys come over here.
uh,
That's not my job. I hate
oh, ooh,
that. You
ooh.
just want to like go off on somebody like, well, that's not my job.
And you know what, though, slacker? You're absolutely right. It ain't your job. But man, help out. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
when, when you see your partner like struggling, trying to lift something just to get it done, and you slacker just chilling there like it's not my job. It's
just
like,
sitting there eating a sandwich. Don't even
mm,
ask. Do you need help?
oh yeah. Oof, oof.
Slackers too, is for them not doing their part, and it connects with other people so they can complete their job. And if the slacker don't do their job, it is frustrating. Damn
Frustrating.
slacker.
I'm telling you, they do enough just to hold their job.
Yeah.
And it can be so many ways, how they do that.
Get paid for less work.
Get paid for less work. That's the worst thing about it. And it's like, to me, it's the ones that do the work. Sometimes they have they don't have the patience to tolerate people by addressing them, to talk to them like, hey man, you need to do their job. Sometimes the ones that work hard, they're just there to do the job, get it done right, and then move on. Then they start doing extra work because the slackers keep slacking. And then, finally, these hard-earned working people stands up to them by somewhat says in the corporate world the wrong way by choking them out. You know what I'm saying? Not the guy that or the gal, any female, male, they, they, whatever you call them, anybody. Now the ones that work hard gets in trouble or even gets fired because of the slackers. That's what I'm talking about, you slackers. And they
Yeah.
still get to work at a job for 20, 30 plus years by getting away. But I tell you what, karma, I believe in karma. Something's coming
Mhm.
to your ass. So if you don't
Mhm.
stop slacking, you better start shaping up because
Mhm.
things happen, might not be at your work, but it will happen. Yep. That's how I feel about that. That's how I stopped slacking in my 20s. You know what I mean? Because it bit me in the butt so many times.
Yeah.
Now that I'm doing honest work, man, I'm seeing the payoff. It's so great. It really is. When you're
You
doing,
experience people coming out the woodworks to come out help you or just see what you need anything.
Well, sometimes, yeah, they do, but a lot of times they don't, because unfortunately, there's a lot of slackers that I work with.
Too
But
many slackers.
I would say, yeah, you experience those that do know, but there are a few that sees it, that see you, and they come through and help out. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it is what it is. That's life, right?
Yeah. Don't be a slacker. And that just it's like it makes people not want to come to work when they see these slackers get away with everything.
Yeah,
They're usually like the bosses, like either the bosses ignore it, don't want to deal with it, or just loves them to death that they don't even want to mess with them. So that's why they
that's how
get
I feel. Sometimes too. It's a tough world, yo. It's one of them things. It's kind of like I don't know what to describe it, but it's a tough situation to get out of because you do have a lot of those slackers where you don't want to go back to work, but you got to remind yourself it's not about them.
mm-hmm. It's about you.
And then it gets so bad to where you end up being a slacker too, right? Now the
Mm,
business is the future of the business is a possibility that you can lose it, but because you know the ripple effect, the domino effect, and
but
it's
can I
like
be a slacker for 1 or 2 days? These guys got to be slackers for 30 years.
exactly.
And then when I become
Sometimes,
a slacker is a big issue.
hmm because now there's nobody doing the job, right? The
There you go.
production, the production is showing, and now the supervisor's cracking down. Hey, what's going on? Well, I guess that's the master plan for all you listeners, because this podcast is for our working Americans. It's just people all around the world. I mean, sometimes you just gotta join them. Hey, they slacking, slack with them. I don't know. I mean, that's just my own personal opinion.
You
Sheesh.
can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Shoot, if I was in the job for 20, 30 plus years, and then out of the 27 years, I finally decided to slack, and now things are changed. Imagine if you was to slack with them on day one. Maybe things would have changed, right? Who knows? Sometimes you just gotta let it all fall in order to come back to rise, right? Man, that
Let
sounds so
them
wise. That sounds hella wise, but I don't really know if that's true. Don't take my word for it, y'all.
Puni Moa can sound wise, ladies and gentlemen.
hmm hmm
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let things fail in order for it to work.
So, what's the conclusion of the overzealous? What's your take on that? The closeout for that, Queen.
Well, it's up to the audience to think about it because we put it out there. So overzealous basically means someone who performs with lots of passion, but when it becomes too much, that's when it becomes a problem. When they overdo it. And then when you start working for them, you allow them to be overzealous to you, and then they're going to expect you to continue to do work. So then they can lead into something more, more like I said earlier, harassing and so forth. But make that choice. But me, what I would do with the overzealous supervisor, how I deal with the overzealous zealous
Mm-hmm.
supervisor, I kill him with kindness and then ask him if depending on the situation, I ask him, okay, can you show me how to do it? What do you even do? If I know it's something against policy or whatever, I'll say, hey, go ahead, send me an email. So it's in writing because you never know how vindictive these overzealous supervisors can be. And then when I have it in writing, that's documentation, and that's my take on it.
Okay, for overzealous, take it up to the supervisor, right? Talk to the supervisor. Is that what you're saying? To hey man, I don't appreciate you. Now you know what, y'all. That's Queen's take on it. Here's Puni Moa's take. Oh, avoid them. Avoid them as much as you can. Just let your day, especially if the job is just if you're only just doing this job for shits. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're making this job a career, then follow what Queen's saying. I highly recommend that. But if you're like Puni Moa, man, you just need this gig until this podcast takes off, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Then do what I'm doing. Avoid them and just do enough. Do do enough of the job like the rest of us slackers just to get by.
Every day is a challenge for you slackers.
just
But you know what? The slackers are the ones that make it throughout the time.
There you
With
go.
their career, whether it's just a part-time gig, any slacker will outdo those hardworking
Man,
individuals.
you ain't you ain't lying, Queen. You is not lying, man. That's on everything I love. The slackers, they will outmaneuver your ass because I'm affected by that.
So if you driving to work right now listening to this crap and you know you're a slacker.
Hands off to you, slackers. Man, I give it up to y'all because y'all you doing the thing. If it wasn't for you, we would have never talked about this.
People have figured out your secret. We put it out there. This is how you survive the workforce if you don't want to work hard for your money.
There you go. If you don't want to work hard for your money, be a slacker. I know some slackers. Hit me up right here at YOOS and I can, connect you to them slackers like Young and John. You know what I'm saying?
You can only hear it here from YOOS. All right. This was awesome. Great segments here. Puni Moa, do you have any closing remarks for our audience today?
Oh man, thank you, Lord. Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I do. I just also want to thank our listeners out there. This is our 10th episode, and we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate the feedback. It's helping us a lot, y'all. Man, continue to grow and build with us.
Well, there you hear from Puni Moa himself. You heard it all today. You heard about the mountains, the oceans, the overzealous supervisors, and them slackers. My thing is, thank you for tuning in. And for all you slackers out there, stop slacking. Help out a brother and sister, your next door folks at work. And until next time, continue to listen to us. Remember, these are just our opinions. You don't have to listen to us. Go see a therapist or whatever, like Puni Moa always says. But have a wonderful evening, and if you have anything you want to say, comment.
And I'm your boy, Puni Moa.
And I'm your queen.
Yeah.